All right, what's going on? We back. NBA 101. Told you I was gonna come back and go live. Just not with box. I just go and deleted that, man. I can't, you know how YouTube is, man. Mess around and ban your video for some BS. But yeah, we're gonna talk about pretty much what's the big problem with Anthony Davis going over to the LA Lakers. And we're gonna react to the NBA All-Star teams. And apparently they're doing a draft this year. Where they be drafting players, and it will be um, it will be live this year. It won't be behind closed doors. So um, yeah, so we'll see how the draft goes as well. We can talk about some of the snubs and stuff of that nature. But pretty much the big topic of discussion is Anthony Davis, and I seen Charles Barkley on TNT, which I think is the best sports segment in sports, in my opinion. Because it got longevity, it's funny. I actually like Shaq, I like Kenny, I like Ernie, and I always like Chuck. I always respect Chuck because, and I'm looking at the All Star jerseys, they dope. I always respect Chuck because he speaks his mind. Kind of remind me of myself. He ain't got no filter, so salute to Chuck for being a real. I don't always agree with some of the stuff he say, but in this world where everybody want to have, scared to really voice their opinion, I respect Chuck 100%. Don't forget to check out the NBA 101. I got a Pacific playlist, not the NBA playlist, but NBA 101, and I turn these into a podcast. And I had a podcast set up. You can just hit the link in the description, and it's gonna be set up where you can go and don't have to watch YouTube and go through the commercials. You can just go listen straight through. You could always go back and rewatch them and go through the playlist and watch them NBA 101, Hip Hop 101. And then I have other things that I come up with. And like I said before, I'm going to pretty much phase back and possibly phase out the live boxing talk. I just do my boxing in the video format, and I may come down 1, 2, 3 times a week and do boxing live streams. That don't include the live reactions or the live commentary. Those don't include those. So we want to continue to keep doing those as much as we can. But a lot of people got a problem with Anthony Davis going to the Lakers, saying that pretty much LeBron cheating and colluding. I won't say colluding, but I guess they say collusion, I guess, or I forget the word they're using. He's cheating. Basically he's setting shit up for players to come with him, and pretty much they being the mafia bullies of the NBA. And Jose Garcia, salute. Like I said, man, wasn't nobody crying about when he put that shit together in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Now that the Golden State Warriors have been so dominant, and now Dan Gilbert and Mark Cuban and all these dudes complaining about it. Yeah, it ain't right, but at the end of the day, what you want to do? He competing against 4 or 5 freaking All-Stars with Clay, Steph, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and DeMarcus Cousins. I'm not the biggest LeBron fan on the court. I love the guy off the court. I think it's one of the few dudes I actually would want to sit down and just chop up everything besides boxing with. I mean, boxing besides basketball with, as far as business and how you treat everything off the floor. One of those dudes I sit down with the era. I think he's the Muhammad Ali of his era when it comes to tackling, racial issues and political issues and just issues off the court. He's that guy. But most people say, oh, he probably got a problem with him getting Anthony Davis. Get Anthony Davis, okay? I want to see how it work out. I don't care if he cheat to get Anthony Davis or he do some mafia shit and he set it up where his agent is his agent and they taking over the NBA. So be it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get some competitive nature going back, man. Give him Anthony Davis, give him Kawhi Leonard, give him, Pete Maravich, give him Jerry West, give him everything he need, okay? I don't care if the dude is tampering. Quite frankly, I'm happy that a brother has changed the league and took it out of the ownership's hands and took it out the management hands. You know what I'm saying? Because the management that had the power for so long, bro, I'm glad LeBron doing this. I don't care if LeBron get another ring or not. The motherfucker them already lost 7 fucking finals. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it as I don't see what the issue is. Anthony Davis, it ain't like he didn't pay his dues with New Orleans for 7, 8 years now. Since he was 18, 19, he been there, 26, 25, 26 now. He did everything possible to win the championship with New Orleans. Give me a second, y'all. All right. Yeah, I'm good. He did everything possible to get a championship or put a winner in New Orleans. He get blood, sweat, and tears. Let him go enjoy himself and play with LeBron James. I don't have a problem with it, but people really have a problem with LeBron James getting more help in LA. They always had a problem with LA doing something. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, guys want to play in LA. You know what I'm saying? Who don't want to be in LA? You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. He's Jose saying LeBron tampering. He know what he doing in the background, hoping Rich Paul gets AD to the Lakers. It don't matter. He gonna be there regardless, via trade or via free agency in 2020. Panama and Kelly, that's my squad, so I don't care how we get them by any means necessary. Jose Garcia said we gotta remember LeBron 34, not 25. He got a few years left. Pale's trash ass franchise. Exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? However they gonna get Anthony Davis, get him. I ain't tripping about it, man. Let's make it competitive, man. And at the end of the day, it ain't like this dude ain't really paid his dues, you know, with the Pelicans, man. He sat there, he was terrible, you know, with the Pelicans. They had okay years, they had pretty good years, but they never can get over that hump. And we all know LeBron James tampering and he cheating in the background. We all know that. We all know they cheating in the background. They setting stuff up for him to be pretty much the Don Dada. Okay, we know what that situation is, and you know with him. But a lot like Charles Barkley really had a problem with Anthony Davis. Lakers gonna need more than just AD, and that's my point. I'm about to get to that in a minute. King of my hood, Texas. They gonna need more than AD. Okay, but at the same time, guess how it's gonna shift? You know, Anthony Davis. People think, oh, LeBron and Anthony Davis. I think LeBron and Chris Bosh. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking LeBron and Kevin Love. LeBron hurt, even though they won, you know, legacy-wise and numbers-wise, LeBron hurt Chris Bosh more than anything. Salute to Ricky in the super chat. Appreciate it, my brother. But LeBron hurt. He hurt Chris Bosh's career. You know what I'm saying? He hurt Kevin Love's career statistically. So is Anthony Davis ready to sacrifice his stats? Because Anthony Davis, he ain't what Chris Bosh was. Chris Bosh, you know, was older. You know what I'm saying? Kevin Love was older than Anthony Davis. So they was willing to sacrifice because they have been through so much pain and suffering. Is Anthony Davis ready to pretty much submit to LeBron James? Is he ready to take blame for everything? Because LeBron James don't take blame for nothing. We talking about leadership qualities. LeBron James got some of the shittiest leadership qualities of any top 5 player in any respective sport I can remember. We talk about the NFL. Jerry Rice took responsibility for his issues, and I think Jerry Rice is perhaps one of the greatest football players to ever play. Lawrence Taylor, yeah, he was very immature, and he had some issues off the field. But I don't you know really remember him ever you know delegating blame to somebody else. Tom Brady, you know, at the end of the day, he a crybaby, but he got a lot better leadership qualities than LeBron. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, you know, Ken Griffey Jr., you want to say Barry Bonds and the rest of them. I have never seen a player that's considered one of the best in their sport have the lack of leadership qualities that LeBron James do. He is an attention whore. He's an attention whore. Who walks in the game drinking wine, my brother? Real talk. Who walks in the game drinking wine? Who's standing over there with Rob Pelinka and Magic Johnson acting like who gonna go, who gonna get cut, who gonna get traded? Like, dude is an attention whore, man. Don't get me started on LeBron James. But I don't have a problem with what he's doing. The players need more power, you know, because you look at it, and I'll give you an example. Look at Blake Griffin. Even though Blake Griffin should be firing his agent, and I'll tell you why. But look at Blake Griffin, right? Blake Griffin, good player, right? You know, he thought he was going to be with the LA Clippers for the rest of his career, or at least for the next 5 or 6 years, right? And guess what happened to Blake Griffin? Blake Griffin signed 5-year, 6-year deal for $200 million. He get traded to the Detroit Pistons, right? And the reason he should fire his agent, because his agent should have got a no trade clause put in there. You can't trust these dudes, man. They'll trade you in a minute. So you expect players like Blake Griffin, LeBron James to be loyal to a franchise when the franchise ain't loyal to them. You know? No, we don't expect these dudes to be loyal. So I'm glad that LeBron James is running the NBA like a mob. Because guess what? It's all about beating the Golden State Warriors. That's what it's about. It's about beating the Golden State Warriors. How do you expect LeBron James to beat the Golden State Warriors? And then if the Pelicans wanted to be super petty, they can hold AD against his will, wait till 2020 at the trade deadline, and hope for a stupid team to bite on Anthony Davis and think he's going to stay like Kawhi Leonard, right? They bite on him. Then he waits till the 2020, 2021 season. LeBron James is going to be a year or two older. LeBron James don't have a ton of time left. LeBron James don't have a ton of time left. So if the Pelicans wanted to be super petty, they could be super petty and hold on to him at least for one more summer until the trade deadline next year. LeBron James already got a groin injury, and I believe LeBron James is healed from that groin injury. I think LeBron James is legitimately waiting for Anthony Davis to get to the Los Angeles Lakers and them to make a move. I don't think he wants to play with Lonzo, Kuzma, and Ingram, and some of them. I won't say all of them no more. I believe LeBron James is waiting for either Luke Walton to get fired or Anthony Davis to get there. That's what he's waiting on, and that's just the God honest truth. Now, if there was no such thing as the Golden State Warriors and the NBA was pretty much wide open, and let me give you a history lesson. The NBA has never been wide open. You know, maybe the 70s. I wasn't a fan of the 70s ball, but I do know the 70s balls was treacherous. Nothing was more indicative of prison ball than the NBA in the 70s. But we talk about the 80s, you know, only 2 NBA finals didn't include the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers. And I have a retro hoop series, and I will do a small little video in my retro hoop series about old basketball. So you can check that. I got a couple videos already uploaded. And maybe I'll kind of detail the dominance of the Lakers and the Celtics in the 80s. But only 2 NBA finals didn't include the Celtics and the Lakers in the 80s. That was, I think, Philadelphia versus the Lakers, where Jamal Wilkes went off. People remember that game for Magic Johnson playing center while Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was hurt, a.k.a. Lewis Cinder. Sean Torres going on. But people forget that Jamal Wilkes had dropped 40-plus points that game. And then the Detroit Pistons versus the Los Angeles Lakers, pretty much the Lakers appeared in every NBA Finals in the 80s. Bill Russell, way before that, he got 11 NBA Finals with the Boston Celtics. So it's not no parity in the NBA. None whatsoever. It's never been. You go to the 90s, 6 years out of the 90s, the Michael Jordan and the Bulls won a title. The 3 other years, 2 was the Houston Rockets back-to-back with Hakeem Olajuwon when Michael Jordan retired. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. The second championship they won, the Orlando Magic bounced the Chicago Bulls. That's when Michael Jordan came back in the middle of the season after he retired and played baseball. A lot of people just think Jordan retired for 2 years. No, technically the Orlando Magic beat Jordan in the playoffs when he was wearing 45. I think it might have been the conference finals. Can't really remember, right? Then the last time, only other third time was the New York Knicks taking on the San Antonio Spurs in the lockout year. You know? So, like I said, you tell me where the parity is. Early 2000s after that, dominated by the Los Angeles Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs. In between that, you had the Pistons again. They stopped the Lakers dynasty. Then it was the San Antonio Spurs, and then it was the Boston Celtics with the Lakers for a short period of time, and then the Miami Heat came. So you tell me where the parity at. We just went 3 decades, right? We just went 3 decades in the NBA, and you tell me where the parity at. Where's the parity? Tell me where the parity at. Because we talked about the Lakers, the Celtics, Sixers, 1 year the Sixers, 1 year the Pistons, 2 years the Pistons, excuse me, 1 in the 90s, and then 1 in the 80s, excuse me, it was 4 teams in the 90s, excuse me. It was the Pistons and the Blazers, 2 Rocket teams, San Antonio Spurs, and the Knicks. So 4 years. The other 6 was dominated by Jordan. The 80s was dominated by the Lakers, the Boston. They met 8 times. And then 1 time was the Lakers and the Sixers, and Lakers versus the Pistons. So Lakers, Boston, Pistons, Sixers, Rockets, Knicks, Spurs got in there. Okay. Pistons squads in there again. Then we go early 2000s, Lakers, Spurs, Pistons. And then it was more Spurs, I believe. And then it was Boston, LA, then Miami, LeBron James phase, and then pretty much where we are now, it was Cleveland, Golden State, Cleveland, and then we still in the Golden State era. So it's very, very seldom that it's parity. It's not parity. We just named Lakers and Sixers. I mean, Lakers and motherfucking in the Boston for years. We talking decades. Without Jordan, I'm really talking about the guys that won. Excuse me for mentioning the Knicks. But Without Jordan, Chicago sucks. Without Jordan, Chicago sucks. Chicago don't have shit without Jordan. Without those six, without the Houston Rockets taking Hakeem and the Portland Trailblazers taking Sam Bowie, it's over with. So when we cry a parity, the NBA's never had parity. It had a lot of depth. It had a ton of talent. Ton of talent. Earl Monroe, Nate Tiny Archibald, young Isaiah Thomas, you know what I'm saying? Mark Aguirre, Renardo Blackman, Michael Thompson, Jamal Wilkes, Magic Johnson, Byron Scott, Kevin McHale, one of the greatest fundamental post guys I've ever seen, Akeem, Rob Sampson before he got injured. You had a ton of talent in the NBA from top to bottom. Bernard King. You know what I'm saying? Legitimately, you only had a handful of teams that can win. It's not the NBA. It's not the NFL. It's not Major League Baseball, and it's not the NHL. So you can't fault LeBron James for being 33, 34 years old and trying to really go for it and cement his legacy as a Laker all-time great and bringing championship to Lakers. He's up against 5 All-Stars. And like everybody know, I ain't the biggest LeBron fan as a basketball player. I own the first pair of LeBron James shoes. They may be somewhere in my storage in my basement. I own the first pair of LeBron. I was a huge LeBron James fan. But some of his antics on the court, dancing, and some of the other stuff that he was doing, I just didn't really appreciate it. He turned me off. And he was always deflecting blame on the other people. Like Rosa said. He said AD might want to rethink that. You seen what he did to Bosh and Love. Exactly. And AD is still in that mode. Ricky E, in the NBA, you only have 5 or 6 teams who had a chance to win a championship every year. And I don't even think legitimately you have 5 or 6. Especially nowadays. When the last time you ever thought like 5 or 6 players, teams had a chance to win a championship? Never. It's been Cleveland and Golden State. Every year you knew LeBron was going to dominate the East. Every year you knew Golden State was going to dominate the West. Other than that little blip versus Houston. Every year. So you already know who the champion is. Only thing that can really change something is a major injury. You need at least 2 major injuries to really be a question the Golden State Warriors and doubt what they can do. So we get mad at LeBron James for really taking owners in a general manager league and turning into a player league? Absolutely not. Get them no trade clauses in your contract. I can say Houston, Boston, of course, Golden State, Toronto. I don't think none of them teams got an actual chance of winning the championship but Golden State. I don't think none of them can beat Golden State in a 7-game series. This is my personal opinion. You know what I'm saying? Unless Golden State suffered 2 major injuries. But you never know. Anything can happen. Anything legitimately can happen. Stop comparing AD to Chris Bosh and Love. You can't compare him to AD, Chris Bosh, and Love. Because that's what LeBron James does to the power forwards. He does that to power forwards. He turns them into stretch 4s and stretch 5s. That's just the fact of the matter. Let's not act like Chris Bosh wasn't doing what AD pretty much is doing in New Orleans, in Toronto. Let's not act like Chris Bosh wasn't getting buckets over there and dominating in Toronto and not winning shit. Because that was exactly the same thing Anthony Davis was doing. That's not true. That's not true. LeBron James made them the 3-point. Chris Bosh wasn't chucking up 3-pointers in Toronto like that until he got to Miami. Chris Bosh was on the block abusing guys like Dwight Howard. Chris Bosh was a 20 and 12 type of guy with Toronto, killing it. LeBron James made him a glorified 3-point shooter. Chris Bosh was a true big man. What are you talking about? Chris Bosh was a real big man. Did you watch him in Toronto? You might not have seen him in Toronto because he was in Toronto. If that made any sense. Chris Bosh was a bona fide baller. He was doing the shit AD was doing. LeBron James takes you and makes you into a glorified spot-up shooter. Why do you think he wanted to get rid of Luke Walton? Why do you think he wanted to get rid of Luke Walton? Because Luke Walton is letting other players want to run an offense. As soon as David Blatt wanted to run an offense, he got him fired. LeBron James want to be able to have the ball in his hand and dictate what you do. You know why Anthony Davis' numbers going to drop with LeBron James? It's because his usage rate going to drop. Every time the Pelicans come down the floor, probably 9 times out of 10, Anthony Davis is touching that ball. With LeBron James, you might go down 3 or 4 times and may not touch the ball. You look up, it's 7 minutes left in the first quarter. You might be taking your first jump shot. You used to getting into the rhythm in the first couple minutes of the game. You didn't touch the ball 7 times in New Orleans, before the 7-minute timeout mark or something like that. With LeBron, it may come 7 minutes, and it might be the first time you actually touch the ball other than a rebound. You might be used to, getting the ball in the post, or getting it in the mid post, or getting it in the wing and working out. Now with LeBron James, you don't. Ain't no Princeton style action in the offense. Ain't no back cuts like the old Bob Knight offense. Ain't none of that shit going on no more. It's LeBron James is going to dictate when and where you get the ball and how you get the ball. That's just what it is. LeBron James is a pass starter. He's playing to break statistical marks. That's just what it is. Kevin Love usage rate was crazy in Minnesota. 2020 almost every other night or every other week or something like that. That's just what it is, man. It's no knock on LeBron. Well, it is a knock on LeBron James, but, it is what it is. You're going to have to sacrifice your game. Anthony Davis ain't even the greatest defender. You know what I'm saying? He good weak side defender. But like I said before, I seen Porzingis hang 40 on him and DeMarcus Cousins. And somebody else just said it now. They got to need something more than Anthony Davis. And I keep calling this dude Jordan Clarkson. Josh Hart is a great start. Can you develop Mo Wagner? Maybe. But Josh Hart is an excellent start. Because he is the point guard that needs to play with LeBron James, the Damon Jones, the Boobie Gibson, Mario Chalmers. Defensive, and he can hit his open threes. You just need him to be Derek Fisher. Oh, LeBron starting, and I didn't know that for real. I sure should have started that motherfucking FanDuel. Give me a minute. I hope now he don't turn him into a spot-up shooter, but that's pretty much what happened to people who play with LeBron. Other than when it's time to save his bacon. Like Kyrie. Oh, Kyrie, I need some help. And then he'll let Kyrie work out and do his thing. You know what I'm saying? But pretty much, I hope he don't turn him into a spot-up three-point shooter, but it's only temporary because that's going to be Anthony Davis' team soon. LeBron James ain't going to play till he's 42. And I don't believe Tom Brady going to play till he's 42. I don't believe that's going to happen. Father Time is undefeated. Ask Shaquille O'Neal, even though he didn't always stay in the best shape. Ray Allen didn't eat a cheeseburger until since he was in high school. And eventually Ray Allen, was too much of a physical grind for him. Kevin Garnett was another guy. Just broke down all of us. Paul Pierce, it happens. So eventually AD just sit there and be patient, and it'll be his team. And maybe him, him and who else you got? Maybe Kawhi, maybe Jimmy Butler, maybe Klay Thompson, maybe Kyrie Irving, which I don't think that's likely that Kyrie's going over there. But at the end of the day, and the problem is with me is that Anthony Davis will legitimately love to hang around the three-point line. That's what he want to do. Exactly. So it could never happen. LeBron will let him shine, period. I don't think LeBron not going to stop him from shining. But my point is he's not going to be putting up on numbers like he did in New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? He not. And it's a lot that we don't know about Anthony Davis, to be honest. Oh, my God. Giannis' jumper is ugly. That's the first time I ever seen him shoot a three. Ugh. But what happened if, they don't get a third wheel or whatever, just for the time being? I'm just saying it's hypothetical. They don't get a third wheel, right? And, LeBron passed to him to hit the game-winning shot. He don't hit it. What if it turned out that Anthony Davis don't have a clutch gene? What if it turned out that Anthony Davis ain't the defender they need him to be in the back end? What if Anthony Davis ain't happy in his role? And then you got to ask yourself that. Everybody ain't passive with their behavior like Chris Bosh and Kevin Love. Chris Bosh and Kevin Love was losing so bad in Toronto, Minnesota, that shit, what I'm saying? I do whatever to win one with LeBron. Well, maybe Anthony Davis ain't like that. Maybe he is. But I don't see I don't see LeBron and Anthony Davis bringing the championship to LA without some help. I don't see it happening. They need help. And like I said before, Josh Hart is a good start. You know, develop Mo Wagner. That's a good start if you can develop him. But you need another wheel. I don't think Klay Thompson would be enough. Quite frankly, I don't think that big three is big enough. Even if they get Klay Thompson from New Orleans, from Golden State, and you say Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, and DeMarcus Cousins somehow, I still pick that team. Just my personal humble opinion. AB is not a great defender. No, he's not. I've never seen a man alive hang 40 points on Ben Wallace. Kristaps Porzingis hung 40 points on Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins. I've never seen nobody hang 40 points on Ben Wallace while he's with the Detroit Pistons in his prime. Never seen it. Not even fucking Shaquille O'Neal, I don't believe, hung 40 points on Ben fucking Wallace. And he got Ben Wallace by 100 fucking pounds. Anthony Davis is an overrated defender. I watched him play defense. He can't defend. He a good weak side ball defender, but that nigga ain't stopping nobody. He ain't no defender of the year. He not Rudy Gobert. No. And people will say, well, he exerted himself on the offensive side of the court, so he can't play offense and defense. Bullshit. Pippen and Jordan did it for a fucking lifetime. People just say, oh, Anthony Davis defender because he get 3 blocks and he get a steal a game. Fuck, that don't make you a great defender. Are you going around there locking down the other player's best player? No. Didn't Karl Anthony Towns just do the funky Watusi on Anthony Davis? Didn't Karl Anthony Towns just hang up like 30, 40 points on that guy? That don't happen to great defenders. Great defenders don't get 40 points hung up on their neck. And I can remember multiple times when I seen a motherfucker hang 40 on Anthony Davis, or at least 30-something. That don't happen to great defenders. He's a formidable defender. Maybe it was Alvin Gentry who didn't put emphasis on defense. I mean, really, man, you can say whatever you want to say. You think LeBron and Anthony Davis is good enough to win a championship? I beg to differ. That's no Shaq and Kobe. That's no Shaq and Kobe. Because LeBron James don't want to let nobody else shine. He don't. He wants you to save. He wants you to save his bacon, you know, when it's the fourth quarter and let Kyrie work out. But we'll see how it work out. But I don't want. Look, I'm gonna say this. I don't want to hear you niggas come back in my chat saying that Anthony Davis is overrated. He a bum and he let LeBron down, because I know that's pretty much where it's gonna go to if that happened that way. But all I'm saying is, and we kind of went left. Eli Zachary, salute. Kawhi Leonard with the dunk. We kind of went left. But all I'm saying is this: if LeBron James want to run the NBA like a mob and he can do what the fuck he want to do, I'm happy that a player coach LeBron James is running the NBA and running them big wigs out. I'm glad that he pissing off Mark Cuban and Dan Gilbert and guys like that. Fuck them. Fuck them, man. I'm just saying, forget them, man. If LeBron James, want to recruit dudes and dudes want to come with LeBron, forget them. Do your thing, Big Pimp and LeBron. Get your players. Because at the end of the day, get your super stacked team so ain't no excuses when the Western Conference Finals and the NBA Finals come around. Get him wherever he need. Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, Bill Russell, Red Auerbach. Get him whatever he needs. Because when June come around, I'm tired of hearing the same excuses. The Dallas series, he choked. Oh, the San Antonio, the first Cleveland San Antonio, that don't count. He didn't have no help. The Dallas series, I don't know what they said about that one, but he choked the Dallas series. I'll talk about the trade in a minute, Crazy K. Give me a second. And then, they beat Oklahoma City. That's good, even though they cheated with a whole bunch of bullshit and James Harden didn't show up then. But that's a totally different NBA one-on-one to talk about James Harden. Maybe we do that over the weekend or tomorrow if I find time. Okay? Then they beat in San Antonio. Then the next year, he had cramps. Well, Ray Allen beat San Antonio. Then the next year, he had cramps. Remember, they turned the air conditioner off. He crying, and then the Spurs beat him. And then he didn't have help with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love was out. Golden State beat him. Then they came out. The NBA, I ain't never seen the fucking league suspend a player in the middle of the championship. They usually get suspended for games next year. The NBA helped his ass out. They came back and beat the fucking Golden State Warriors. He think he the GOAT for that shit, but I don't. All right. Then they come back and get beat by the fucking Golden State Warriors and swept. Or they lose 4-1 one year, then they get swept the next year. Okay. So at the end of the day, I don't want to hear no fucking tax what's going on. Devin Spiney, what's going on? I don't want to hear no fucking excuses, bro. Get this motherfucker whatever you need, okay? Because all I know is Kevin Durant is the LeBron killer when the NBA Finals come around. He don't want to check that dude. He hit the damn three-pointer in the same spot 2 fucking years in a row. He want to blame J.R. Smith. Man, how about you play some defense, man? Michael Jordan was leading the NBA in scoring, and he was Defensive Player of the Year. And he was MVP that year. So ain't no excuses. These players take nights off. Jordan wasn't taking no damn nights off. This motherfucker playing night in, night out. You don't hear Jordan crying, "Oh, I don't have enough energy to play offense and defense." Get the fuck up out of it. This is the shit that this current NBA fan base and media create. Pippen and Jordan was pit bulls on both sides of the ball. So was Isaiah Thomas, and so were a lot of other different players in the NBA. It wasn't no Isaiah Thomas was fucking 5, whatever he was, 6'1", 6 foot, crying, "I don't have enough energy to score and play defense." Or I need to light the night off. Charles Barkley and them niggas was taking the fucking Greyhound in charter planes. They didn't have no private jets. And did you know the Detroit Pistons organization was the first organization to start the private jet thing for their team? They started the private jet thing. If my memory serves me correctly, they started that shit. They started the private jet thing. Don't forget that. Remember, while they was on a private jet, people were still hopping on Delta Flight 173. The teams were still taking the Greyhound and shit. You know what I'm saying? See, a lot of people don't know that, and they wasn't taking games off. They was playing back-to-backs. The NBA cut the back-to-back thing in half. I watched FanDuel, and they rarely play back-to-back. They may play a back-to-back once or twice a month. You just have back-to-backs twice a week. You know what I'm saying? That's just little shit that they don't tell you about the NBA. They tell you all the little other bullshit you don't need to know, but they never tell you that Jordan dropped 63 in the Boston Garden with no air conditioning. LeBron James quit versus San Antonio Spurs in that last final with the Miami Heat when there wasn't no air conditioning. They never tell you that motherfucker Michael Jordan had a broken foot when he dropped 63 on the Boston Celtics. He missed the entire freaking season with a Liz Frank injury. He came out there and dropped 63 points in the Boston Garden. That shit might still be a record there with no air conditioning. Man, that motherfucker Larry Bird called him black. He called him God and fucking Nikes or something like that. And the 86 Celtics and Shannon Sharp always, I know I'm drifting off, and I'll get to that question in a minute. Shannon Sharp want to say, "Oh, LeBron got swept or LeBron ain't never get swept in the first round or got bound." Man, motherfucker, do you know the 86 Boston Celtics is considered one of the greatest NBA teams of all time? He lost to the greatest NBA team of all time. Who did LeBron James play in the first round of the playoffs? Anybody comparable to the 86 Celtics? Absolutely fucking not. He ain't played anybody better than the 86 Celtics in the playoff career. Not even that KG, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen and Rajon Rondo Boston Celtics team was fucking with the 86 Celtics. Okay? Let's say that. They tell you how great LeBron James is, right? But did they tell you that, and I got in my Retro Hoop series, I got a video on this. LeBron, and what was it, 87? Or 88 or some shit like that. Can't remember the exact year. Michael Jordan won All-Star MVP, scoring title, NBA Defensive Player of the Year, League MVP, first team All-Defense, first team All-NBA. In one season, he did that. Larry was playing with a bad back at the end of his career, man. At the end of Larry Bird's career, after Isaiah and them got done wearing his ass out, that's when he started playing with a bad back. Don't give me that bullshit. Larry Bird in 86, that was one of the greatest teams I ever seen. Oh, that's not the Boston Garden, my brother. That's TD Garden, whatever. That's not the Boston Garden. The Boston Garden is gone. They might have obliterated the Boston Garden. That was the TD. That's some other shit. That's a new arena Boston got. The Boston Garden was that old-ass, shitty-ass stadium they had in Boston. 2 different arenas, my brother. You know what I'm saying? And back then, they was able to hand check and elbow you in the throat and shit like that. Robert Parrish and them, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what it is, man. They don't respect that, man. They don't tell you that about history. And maybe ESPN, they don't know or they neglect to talk about that type of things, man. In 70s ball, what was jail ball, man. Go back and watch 70s ball. When Rudy Tomjanovich got his mouth split open on the floor. His whole nose to mouth was split open by I forget about a guy that split his shit open. But if you go look up Rudy Tomjanovich, the guy who's coached the Rockets, coached the Lakers for a minute, and him get punched, he got his shit split open. Like legitimately, somebody, you know how they fake fight? They had a real fight. One of the dudes split his mouth open from his nose to his mouth. You know, that's just what it is, man. Somebody had a question. I'm trying to go back and find it. And then I go into the All-Star thing. Then I'm doing Q&A. I can't find that question, bro. I seen it too. Hold on. Every time you spit facts, people want to say you hating. Ain't nobody hating. I ain't got shit to hate on LeBron about. Oh, yeah, how I feel about the Knicks and the Mavericks trade. We talk about the Knicks and the Mavericks trade, and then I go into the All-Star team and shit like that. You know, I guess Kristaps Porzingis, he must have came in there drunk off a fifth of Henny, or he must have came off some Russian vodka, because he must have said something in that meeting, okay? Kristaps Porzingis must have said something in that meeting that James Dolan didn't say. He probably told James Dolan some words that I can't even say on here. So Kristaps Porzingis must have really voiced his true opinion, okay, when it came to the New York Knicks. He must have really went off, okay, because they traded him like 30 minutes later, and the Dallas Mavericks gave them what they wanted. The Mavs came out with the best player in the deal. Even if that best player got an ACL injury, he ain't got to play the rest of this year. Maybe want to play a couple games at the end. But if I'm the Dallas Mavericks, I'm shutting the shit down. I'm letting Luke Doncic go out there, play with Jalen Brunson, and I'm shutting down Harrison Barnes. I'm trading his ass in the summer, okay? I'm shutting down Harrison Barnes. I'm shutting down all my other veterans. I'm tanking, okay? If I'm the Mavs, I'm tanking. If I can look up and fuck around and get, you know, Jay Morant, or I can fuck around and get Zion or RJ Barrett or something like that, why? I mean, Porzingis don't need to play this year. You know what I'm saying? He can just play in the G League and get his knee back up to health. If I'm the Mavericks, oh man, I'm shutting everybody down but Luka, just so he can get his MVP. And what's so funny about it is that, and I'm gonna get back to the trade, is that Trae Young said it worked out for both teams. Oh no, it didn't. Then I told people, I said Luka Doncic and Michael Porter. You go back and look at my archives. I said those were my two favorite players in the draft. Now I was like everybody else about Luka Doncic. I was like, oh, this is another Euro hype job. But when I actually got to watch Luka Doncic play, and that is true, Tax Tech, and I speak on that. When I actually watched him play and learned that he was the EuroLeague MVP or whatever, and watched him, I say he can play. He need to be picked number 1 overall. You know what I'm saying? But the Mavericks got back Tim Hardaway Jr. He got an ugly contract, but it is what it is. They took back Trey Burke. Trey Burke has some really big games this year. But David Finsdale seemed to be on a random pitch count for a lot of these players. They also got back Courtney Lee, who I ain't seen play much this year. Good 3-and-D guy. And then obviously they got Kristaps Porzingis, who got the knee injury, and who was set to be a restricted free agent at the end of the year. Okay, we go to the Knicks. They got back the expiring contracts of Wes Matthews, he garbage, and DeAndre Jordan. They're not gonna stay with the Knicks unless the Knicks can't bring nobody there. I don't know why Kevin Durant would even think about going to the New York Knicks at this point, but they got cap space for days, you know. So they got back Dennis Smith Jr., who been injured every fucking game this season. It seemed like in last season, he's very injury prone. Wes Matthews, DeAndre Jordan, and maybe somebody else I'm forgetting. Okay, the Knicks is gonna have clear cap room. They tanking. They possibly can land Zion Williamson. Remember, they landed Patrick Ewing, so the NBA always counted them. But I think it's at the point where they need to force James Dolan to sell the New York Knicks. I feel like the New York Knicks is possibly the worst run franchise by ownership, just like the Detroit Lions is. I think they neck and neck. The Fords and James Dolan is two of the most retarded, incompetent owners in sports history. He said Mavs clearly lost the trade for me. Kristaps Porzingis injury prone, and then you lost DJ. I mean, DJ. I mean, I don't need. I mean, I guess they don't need DJ because he was on a 1-year deal. I think they won the game. They won the trade. Dennis Smith Jr. is injury prone too. Dennis Smith Jr. is the most injury-prone player I've seen in a long time. So you lose an injury-prone player you was trying to get rid of anyway. Who did they lose? DeAndre Jordan. He wasn't gonna win shit for you. He wasn't having an off-the-chart year. Wes Matthews ain't been shit since he was in Portland. The Knicks clearly won this trade. They got Kristaps Porzingis. And if he build up his physical strength, he'll be good. DeAndre Jordan, that motherfucker gonna be a free agent next year. You can get him back next year. The Knicks not gonna plan on bringing back DeAndre Jordan. You didn't lose nothing. And you can sit there and let Porzingis build his strength up in the G League and rest until next year, and then you can play him in the summer league too. You know, to test his knee out. Then you can also tank and possibly be in the Zion Williamson sweepstakes. You crazy. The Mavericks clearly won this deal. And you clearly don't know basketball. I see that. But that's what Zion going to Chicago and New York, the NBA will make sure that. I don't think the NBA is very fond of Chicago. Outside of Jordan, I think it's going to be the Knicks. Exactly. They still can sign DJ in the summer if they wanted to. You know? No, but other than that, let's pretty much talk about this All-Star team. Let me see. Okay, apparently they're going to do a draft. So I think this got a chance to be mixed up. Yeah, it will. All right, in the East, you got Kemba Walker starting, Kyrie Irving starting, Giannis starting, Kawhi Leonard starting, Joel Embiid starting. All right, reserves is Victor Oladipo. Obviously, he injured. Jimmy Butler, D'Angelo Russell will fill in for Victor Oladipo. I tend to want D'Angelo Russell because I really don't care for Jimmy Butler and his attitude, but D'Angelo Russell snitched up, but hey, it is what it is. Kyle Lowry, the backup point guard, Blake Griffin, forward, reserve. Chris Middleton, former Detroit Piston, makes his first All-Star game for the Milwaukee Bucks. Ben Simmons makes his first one for Sixers. Real deal, Bradley Beal makes his, I think it might be his first with the Washington Wizards. I could be wrong. And one of my favorite players in the NBA, Nikola Vujovic, makes the NBA All-Star team as well. He's definitely having a beastly year. Then we go into the West. It's Steph Curry, James Harden, LeBron James, who's the captain, Giannis, the captain of the East, Kevin Durant, Paul George, who's having the MVP, my MVP right now. We talked about that in the last episode of NBA 101. Russell Westbrook. Then the reserves is Anthony Davis, Nikola Jokic, one of my other favorite players. Damian Lillard, always one of my favorite players. Klay Thompson, LaMarcus Aldridge, and Karl Anthony Towns. So they're gonna end up voting. They're gonna do a live Giannis and LeBron gonna pick their teams live February 7th. I think that's next Thursday. So they're picking live. So the All-Star game is going to be in Charlotte this year. Salute to Charlotte. Got some family down there, man. Charlotte is a beautiful city, growing really, really fast. Salute to everybody in Charlotte. Snubs. I'm looking at the list. Mike Conley, Tobias Harris, Rudy Gobert, Devon Mitchell, Jamal Murray, Luka Doncic. So yeah, few snubs right there. But I like Ben Simmons. He just can't shoot. He a simp too. Him and Giannis Antetokounmpo had one thing to do this summer and shoot. Maybe they can't. Maybe they just not meant to shoot. But I'm gonna tell you where they messing up at. If you trying to learn to shoot and you trying to learn to shoot from the furthest distance on the floor, it's not gonna work. It's like taking baby steps. You know what I'm saying? First, you got to learn to get it in the paint, which they both do. Then you got to step out and learn to hit it from the elbow. Learn to hit it from the outside the paint a little bit. Learn to hit a bank shot like Tim Duncan. Then shoot from the elbows. They got drills where you run from the baseline to the elbows and shoot. Baseline back to the elbows and shoot. Shoot from the top of the key. Then shoot from mid-range. They both need to master the mid-range first. And then when they master the mid-range, then step out and start shooting threes. But you got to remember, them dudes probably got the hands of a 7-footer. You know what I'm saying? So it's probably hard for them to shoot. Chris Middleton from the Bucks made the All-Star team. That's here. No, Chris Middleton is straight, bro. Chris Middleton is straight, bro. Let me look up his stat line. He D3, man. Chris Middleton was having a good year. He looking to get a big contract. Chris Middleton not bad at all, bro. I don't know why you say that. I'm happy Chris Middleton made it, but let's talk about it. Let's put up his stat line. But he not bad at all, bro, in my opinion. Yeah, he averaging 17, 5, and 4 this year. So he ain't having a bad year. I ain't saying that he the best All-Star. But I mean, who else you got out there? You know what I'm saying? You look in the East. I mean, D'Angelo Russell, I guess, should have made it before him, right? Let's see what D'Angelo Russell stat line is, okay? I'm not a big fan of Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler is mad overrated, bro. But let's look at D'Angelo Russell stat line real quick. I don't see what people see in Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler not that good to me. Well, D'Angelo Russell, well, he averaged more points, 19.5. They shot about the same. And Russell averaged just under 4 rebounds a game and 6.5 assists a game, just about that. And see what Jimmy Butler. I'm not a big fan of Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler is mad overrated. I don't see Jimmy Butler being the second best player on the championship team, but he averaging 19 points a game. He's shooting about 50% from the field, 4.8 rebounds, 3.5 assists. So, you know what I'm saying? I just don't see Jimmy Butler being that good. And obviously, D'Angelo Russell scored more than him. Okay. He shot better than Middleton, but I think Middleton rebounded and had a higher assist clip. Yeah, he did rebounded by over almost 2 rebounds a game more. And he had more assists than Jimmy Butler as well, too. But Jimmy Butler shot better. So, you know, it is what it is. And maybe it's because Jimmy Butler didn't play in the East the whole time as well. So that could have played a factor into it. But you could say, well, Jimmy Butler is a better defender. Yeah, I won't argue that. Middleton could defend a little bit, but, you know, that's just my personal opinion. Oh, yeah, Paul George for sure. That's not even an argument no more. You know, Paul George is just another animal to recover from that injury that he did. But I'm looking forward to the All-Star game. I like watching the All-Star game. Not so much the how can I say it? The slam dunk contest. I'm not looking forward to that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who's going to be competing. Miles Bridges from Michigan State. He's from Charlotte. He should be in it. I heard that Steph Curry and his brother, Steph Curry, going to be in a 3-point shootout. So, yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to the festivities. There's something I like to watch. It's the All-Star game. Something I always sit down and watch when I get an opportunity. Sometimes it's boxing on Saturday before, and then we go right into the All-Star game. So, yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I want to see Paul George. I've been a Paul George fan since he was at Fresno State. You know, but I mean, obviously, anybody y'all think was missing from the All-Star game, y'all I want to see in the All-Star game, let me know in the comment section. Y'all go into the questions right now, and then we just talk Q&A and chop it up. But see how long we've been on for, and I'll get to the questions. We ain't even been on an hour, so shit, we got time today. It will be great to see Paul George win MVP. When AD joins LA, the question is who else will be joining 2020? I think it could be Klay Thompson. His daddy worked for Golden State. I mean, worked for the Lakers, so it could be that. But I don't even see Klay Thompson, AD, and LeBron being enough, especially if Golden State Warriors were to keep Kevin Durant and DeMarcus Cousins. But you know, it is what it is. Especially Golden State got that brand new arena. I think Golden State should go ahead and move Draymond Green. You know what I'm saying? Why not? I would have moved him for Trevor Ariza in the first round draft pick from Phoenix. Maybe may have been in the future, but maybe they just know something else going with Draymond Green. Maybe Draymond Green got an Instagram thought pregnant, and his fiance or whatever she is, his wife, is gonna find out. I like the late 80s and 90s All-Star games. I still watch them to this day. Oh yeah, remember Jordan and Jordan and all of them? Or what about the one in the 2000s where when they went down to the wire and I think Iverson in the East won? And Vince Carter was in it. That was one of my favorite ones as well, too. Do you think KD will stay or leave? Quite honestly, I ain't been paying attention to the Warriors. I haven't been watching basketball like that, man. I kind of took a little break off of it, man. But I'm watching it right now. Bucks and the Raptors. But I'm watching it right now. But I mean, if he happy, he may stay. I'm heard they won't give him anything. They want to give him everything to stay because they open up a new arena in San Francisco. So. Yeah, I mean, I would move Draymond. I would have been moved Draymond Green, man. You know, Draymond Green ain't a max player. I mean, Detroit would be stupid enough to take him and give you their draft pick and whatever else you would want from them. I think Phoenix would have been dumb enough to take him. I mean, obviously, you could look at. I think Sacramento got some great young talent. I mean, I heard they're not signing back Willie Cauley-Stein, whatever reason that is. But you know, they got Buddy Hield, Bogdanovich. You know, De'Aaron Fox. You probably could have finessed them for some of them young guards and talent wings they got. I would have got rid of Draymond Green ass, man. No offense. But yeah, he fell off hard this year, and I think it's more mental. I think he's dealing with maybe some infidelities with his relationship or whatever he want. Do you want the Pistons? Do the Pistons own their first round pick? Yeah, they do. They do. You know what I'm saying? Last year, their first round pick was protected. I think if it fell inside the top 7 or something like that, and if that was the case, they kept it. And then this year, LA will get their first round pick, the Clippers. But since the Clippers got it last year, the Pistons own their first round draft pick this year. Yeah, I just read that a couple months ago. I could be wrong, but I feel I feel he's going back to OKC. Nah. I don't think he's going back with Russ. I thought that too. But I think he could be going out to Brooklyn, maybe. Brooklyn got a nice young team. Karis LeVert, his injury wasn't as bad as they said it was. Spencer Dinwiddie, D'Angelo Russell. I mean, they got the young bull in the middle, Jared Allen. And you put KD there, I think, they could be contenders. D'Angelo Russell was coming to his own too, man. I like what Russell been doing this year. I like Karis LeVert out the University of Michigan. I like Spencer Dinwiddie. He was in Detroit for a minute. He fell in the draft, I think, to the second round because he had a knee injury, But I like those guys personally, man. And I like what Brooklyn is building. They're building a playoff team right now. Any chance the Pistons trade Drummond or Blake? The owner said they committed to Blake Griffin, so that ain't happening. But Andre Drummond, he said they open to anything when it comes to Andre Drummond. But it is what it is. They struggling with the Mavericks right now. They struggling with the Mavericks right now. Yep, 57-65. The Mavericks beating them without Luka Doncic, Dennis Smith Jr. and company. In the third quarter with 2 minutes left. So they struggling with them right now. That's crazy. That's super crazy. You think the KD will go to the Clippers with Kawhi? Possibly, but Kawhi wanted an apology from Kevin Durant for saying he was a system player. So it could happen. Pistons are disappointment. Should at least been in a playoff picture. I could have told you that. They only have 2 starters in Drummond and Blake Griffin. The rest of the players won't start on the 51% of the league. But I like to see Kevin Durant go to the Clippers. I wouldn't mind it. But the Clippers are trying to move to the Forum in Inglewood. So they need to get their own identity and get out the shadows of the Lakers and the Staples Center. But him and Kawhi Leonard, that'd be nice. The Battle of LA will be something to marvel at this year, right? And next year, if Kawhi Leonard and KD team up. I mean, Tobias Harris turned down the contract extension from the Clippers, so they don't have that commitment to him. So they will have to get somebody in the middle to go to the Clippers with them. Maybe DeAndre Jordan come back to the Clippers and play the middle. So you got DeAndre Jordan, Kawhi Leonard. You got the young boy from Gillingsley Alexander from Kentucky. You still got Lewis Williams over there that can provide you spark off the bench. You still got Patrick Beverly over there who's starting to turn on a little bit. And you still got Danilo Gallinari. I don't know his contract situation, but I think at that point you have to trade Danilo Gallinari and get rid of him. I don't think he meshed well with Kawhi and KD. He could. You could play Gallinari at the 4 or KD at the 4, Kawhi at the 3, KD at the 2. So, I mean, I think the Clippers will be instant NBA contender or championship contenders right there with the Lakers if the Lakers to swing Klay Thompson. And if Kevin Durant lead the LA Clippers, lead the Golden State Warriors for the Clippers and Klay Thompson go to the LA Lakers, Steph Curry going to be one lonely dude. He going to hear a ton of overrated chants. You know what I'm saying? Steph Curry going to hear him and Draymond Green and DeMarcus Cousins. That's formidable with him and Boogie. But shit, man, with Draymond, what the fuck they going to do? Get Harrison Barnes back? AD or Embiid? I like Embiid. This is my personal opinion. Embiid, he played, I don't know. I just think he played more winning basketball. Maybe he played with better talent. But we'll see when Anthony Davis get to LA. You know what I'm saying? Alex Henderson, salute my brother. He said Pelicans are stupid to not take the Lakers deal. AD is coming regardless in 2020. Celtics are not going to give up Tatum for a 1-year rental. If the Lakers have to wait, deal should be Ball, Hart, 2 first-round draft picks. No, they gonna want more than Ball and Hart, bro. No offense, but they gonna want the whole team, bro. That's just what it is. They gonna want. I heard all Lakers offering them Kuzma, Ball, Ingram, Zubac, and a first-round draft pick. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. So you look at the situation and you say, okay, you know, I do that, you know, and they stupid not to take the deal like Alex Henderson said. They stupid for not taking that deal. I take that deal in a heartbeat. If everything I name, I take it. You know. Any chance Bola can fall to, yeah, Bola is falling to the 22nd pick in the draft because of his foot injury. So the Pistons have a great opportunity at looking at Bola. You know, the Pistons didn't give up their draft pick last year, which was stupid for Blake Griffin because you ain't winning shit with them or without him. They could have got Michael Porter Jr. and just rested him this year and just been bad this year and possibly been in the Zion Williamson sweepstakes. In my personal opinion, people might call me crazy, but I like Ja Morant better than I like Zion Williamson. It's a guards league, and I don't think Zion Williamson knees is going to hold up unless he lose some weight. 82 games a year. You know, I don't like Zion Williamson body style. I go with Ja Morant. Now Ja Morant from Murray State, it's a problem. He's one of them dudes that play above the rim. And those dudes don't last in the NBA long neither. The guys that last in the NBA are the guys that play below the rim and don't rely on their explosive ability. That's why you see Blake Griffin laying the ball up now. But as long as Ja Morant can stay healthy, I think he one of my favorites, bro. I mean, I like him. I will give them all. Them, and if it didn't work, I would just get a third team in the mix. I agree, Daddy. Bulldog face. And Stanley Johnson been trash, man. The Milwaukee Bucks up by 5. You know, they got DJ Wilson playing some minutes from Michigan, man. They got George Hill over there too. And Eric Bledsoe just got fouled, but they didn't call it. And number 1 for the Toronto was Blaze, and I don't even know who the fuck that got to be. I don't know who that guy is. Oh, he that old boy from the fucking Golden State Warriors. Yeah, McCall. RJ Barrett would be the best though. No, RJ Barrett is trash. I can't stand RJ Barrett, bro. He might be better than NBA. But RJ Barrett ain't seen a shot he don't like. RJ Barrett, I don't think will be better than Ja. You know, RJ Barrett, all he knows is shoot. RJ Barrett do is shoot. I don't like him, bro. He couldn't play on my team. Bro. At all. Shoot. That's all he do is shoot. I like Ja. You know, but if RJ Barrett can learn how to facilitate, then you know maybe he could be one of the better players in the NBA draft. But I wouldn't take him. You know, I take Bola over him. But in my opinion. In fact, RJ be getting me tight. Yeah, RJ just shoot. He gonna be the reason Duke don't make it to the Final Four. Because all he do is shoot. That motherfucker just he ain't seen the shot he don't like. As soon as he cross half court, he in shoot mode. Shoot. You be like, God damn, bro, pass it. I like Zion if he can get it, if his knees can last. Yep, if his knees can last, I like Zion Williamson, man. Zion is a nice player. I mean, he real smooth, left-handed. His jumper look like if he continue to work on it, that won't be a problem. You know, he can facilitate. He can play defense a little bit. He can play above the rim. Yeah, but how long will Zion Williamson knees last is the question. You know, how long will Zion knees last? That's a real question. Like, you look at it and you say, damn, you know, will his knees hold up? Or you end up like Larry Grandmama Johnson, where you end up like Sean Kemp at one point? His weight will be an issue. I'm not sure. That's a question to be asked. You know, but hey, something that you got to see, man. But go ahead and log off, man. Another successful one, man. Don't forget to check out the NBA 101 playlist, man. All NBA live streams that we do. Continue to look out for those as well. We're gonna do more of those, and you know, share the videos, man, and tell people about it. Then we're gonna continue to do more of the hip hop 101, and then we have more content coming as well. I definitely appreciate everybody for checking in and checking on. And when they do the live NBA draft, maybe we can cover it if I'm free. I think it go down next Thursday. But until next time, my brothers. I deleted it, bro. I did a boxing live earlier today. I deleted it. It went too left. It went too left, but I already done it today though. But I appreciate y'all. We gone.